Welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, these are my long root structure for Malvern. I've just uncovered this, and the water is nice and clear, so it just proves a point. Keep your water clear, it'll stop it from going green. The sun's just popped out again. See if we get out the sun. There's the irrigation, no drippers, just a straight feed off the 200 litre barrel. And here's the water timer. We put that in horizontal, not vertical, which feeds, which gets the water flowing, and we set it, I think that's every 6 hours. I think it was for about 2 minutes, and it's surprising how little water it uses, but it keeps those tap roots nice and moist. But now I've got to sift the compost, ready to rebuild all that. We're still a little bit early yet, but if I don't get this sifted, I'll never get it done. Just very, very busy at work at the moment, DIY and everything else. So this is my compost of choice. I did it a little bit different last year, and they didn't grow very well, so I'm just going to stick with this. And I normally sieve it through a normal sieve, but this time we're going to be using the Fire Guard. I've had it such a long time, but I've never really used it, and the finer the compost, the easier it is to clean the roots, and it's easier for the root to travel down the guttering. I'm not putting so much soil in the guttering this time, or this stuff. I'm going to keep it in a nice little thin layer, because realistically the taproot will just keep going and going and going, and I'll be feeding them this year with some stuff that we bought just for my giant veg for this season. I'm using the Cooljob bamboo gloves today, so I can just keep turning you on and off. I've never used one of these before, so I'm hoping that this compost, because it's such a nice compost anyway, you don't get too much rubbish in it. And if this works like this, I don't think I'm going to need to adjust it anymore. I'm not going to force it through. I'll put that somewhere else, but hopefully there won't be too many bits in that, so it'd be easier to clean the roots. So that's the first 60 litre bag done, and we've probably got, that's a 39 litre cloth bag, probably 20 litres in there, so we've got 40 litres of good material. Not bad for that compost. Really good compost. I do like using that for this specialty long root veg. Compost is so much easier to sieve when it's dry. The bit on the right was the second bag, and it took me absolutely ages blocking up. The third bag was dry again, so I'll keep pressing on. It's just a little bit too hard to sift. You lose more than you gain, so there's a little bit there just to let dry out. We'll keep the top open, and the material that we've sifted out can go in with the pallet collar raised beds when we add the leaf mould rejects to the mix. So these will be left out to the elements. We're expecting a lot of rain and wind. Let that soak in, because we don't want it too dry, or it'll just slide straight out into the catch pit below. So we need it damping up, and the angle needs to be right, so that when it does have wet compost in there, it just doesn't slide down again. So if you're building a structure, then just make sure you play around with the angles, but that's holding it square. And irrigation is key to keeping them roots moist. There'll be follow-up videos, and then a playlist for 2023 long roots for the Malvern Autumn Show. And then when we reveal them, I'll keep them in the same playlist. And underneath the long root structure is a little wildlife pond garden, making sure we utilise the space for our pollinators and frogs and anything else that might want to live here. Please remember, thumbs up, thumbs down, join in with the comments, and why not consider subscribing. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.